Hello, everybody, and welcome to this video where today we're going to talk about the poor white man and how the white man can't get published because the white man has lost everything that once made the white man great. Because I'm annoyed and this is stupid. If you can't tell from my sarcasm, this is stupid. So, this is in response to a video Bookish did in response to a video that some silly white woman did who has found her audience in a bunch of disenfranchised white writers. That's a hard thing to say. I'm going to link Brian's video down below. Go watch it. He put a lot of research into it, and it's a great video. And I'm not taking anything away from Brian here, but things like this drag me fucking crazy. One thing that I absolutely hate is listening or watching somebody bitch about them not being able to fucking do the goddamn thing. I understand that me as a white man have privilege that other people don't have. I get that. But because of how I was brought up and the scene that I was brought up in, I was taught early on that you have to hustle and you don't get anything unless you put in the work. Not just the work on your art, but the work on getting your work out there and making people fucking buy it. Okay? So the second I ever hear some cranky white dude like going, oh, well, the only reason why I can't sell my books is because blah, blah, woke, blah, blah, ideological, blah, blah. Somebody give me the next buzzword. Bullshit. Okay. So there's a couple things I want to say. Like, basically, their argument in this video, because it was this woman who placates to angry white guys. And apparently, I've never watched any of her stuff, but apparently she does very well taking money from white guys who feel disenfranchised. Whatever, you found your audience, good for you. Then she had on an author who, from what it looks like, can't sell any of his crappy fiction unless he scares white people into thinking that white culture is disappearing. And then like-minded, stupid white people go, ooh, I should buy this guy's book and read it. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just know, Devin, that the only reason why people are reading your books is because of your crappy, like, political agenda bullshit. Nobody cares about your writing. So with that said, let's continue. So one of the things is that they say white men don't read because white men aren't being published. So no one's telling the white man's tale. And so just there's all these white men out there going, well, there's nothing for me to read. I don't know if you've ever been into a fucking bookstore before, but even if, and Brian does the math here, what did he say? In 2021, 32% of the books published were written by white males. Okay, 32%. And judging by population numbers and demographics, that number checks out, like just proportionately. Okay, so if you've ever been into a bookstore, there are thousands of books in there, and if you want to talk about like proportionately whatever, most of them are written by white men. Okay, now to say white guys don't read anything because there's nothing there. What? But you also say, like, oh, back in the old days, everything was great and white guys got published all the time. Why the fuck aren't these people reading these books then? Those books are still being published. Those books still have the same whatever beliefs and blah, blah, blah. So why aren't they reading those? Because this whole argument does not hold any water when you have bookstores full of books written by white guys. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Now, if you want to talk about like newer stuff, I've noticed something about white guys over the years, being one myself. And the other thing about white guys not reading, I haven't checked the like demographics lately, but when you even look at BookTube, most of the people on BookTube are white guys. Most of the people reading books and talking about books on BookTube are white guys. So, proportionately speaking, there's a lot of white dudes reading books. Okay, but that's beside the point. Let's come back to this. One of the other arguments I have about this, and this is probably anecdotal, so get ready to get your fingers angry in the comments. But most white men that I have encountered that do read or even write hate YA. They just hate YA. They look down on it. They say it's stupid. They say it's simple. Oh, anybody could write that. Oh, it's like junior high, blah, 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 whatever. It's not thought provoking enough. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Okay. So white guys do not like that. YA is the thing that sells more than anything right now. Okay. If white guys don't like YA and don't want to play to the rules of what's going on, you are not going to get anywhere. Okay? Just right off the bat. It's just like, I don't know, like you're a baseball player, and maybe this is a shit analogy. I don't know, I just came up with it. You're a baseball player, but I'm talking to men here, so men can understand baseball analogies. You play baseball and you decide, I want to be a baseball player, but I don't like how you guys play the game. I think it's kind of silly now, so I just don't want to play it. So I'm just going to sit over here and bitch about how good baseball was 100 years ago, but mad that no one's paying me money to play baseball. It's fucking stupid. Just like back in the days with the pulps, not every pulp writer wanted to write 10,000 words on like a romance murder mystery thing. But they did because that's what the market wanted. So they wrote that and then they got fucking paid for it. That's it. Another reason why I think white guys don't read, if you want to get into this whole thing, and why it's hard for white guys to sell stuff, if you look through history, most of the stuff that white guys have written has been about colonialism or some kind of like winning by taking over something and taking something from someone else, and um the idea of, oh, I'm going to help these people get up to where I am. Or even if it's something like Conan and stuff, I'm gonna go kill a bunch of things and then get the girl and then get drunk. Okay? There are, if you go back through all of this like sci-fi and fantasy and all that shit, even stuff that we all love, like Lord of the Rings and whatever, you know, like even like Foundation, you know, like most of it is about colonization. Okay? Most of it is about taking over something, ruling over something, like getting the power to rule over something, um, like having the woman that you want, all this other crap. Okay? And I'm not trying to be funny, but like even though like you're a sad person and you need to fulfill your fantasies through typing, that doesn't mean anyone wants to fucking read that shit. And now more than ever, people are aware that that's a thing that happens, that people write that way, and people might not want to read that. Just saying. Okay? So, and then especially publishers who are trying to sell books, if they're like, oh, okay, well, most of the people who are buying books now and reading books aren't like this person who sent this in, and all they're talking about is like colonizing the other, like maybe that's not something I want to do. Okay? It's just like, if the stuff you're writing doesn't sell with publishers and agents, maybe you're writing the wrong thing. Maybe you should see what the market's doing and write to market if that's all you're excited about. If you just want to have a book deal so you don't have to do nothing, just get a book deal, you know? Right to market. That's what your job is at that point. You're not special. Nobody cares about you. So, since nobody cares about you, right to fucking market. Another thing, too, is that I don't know if white guys like having another white guy be like all hoity toity and highfalutin when they're fucking talking about shit. Have you, okay, listen to this Devin guy. If you've been fed Soylent Green your whole life. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Just be a fucking normal person. Just be normal. The books that are selling are sounding like normal people speaking. So all you MFA motherfuckers who think you need to like purple your prose out to to sound like the smartest guy in the room, that's only for you. That is super masturbatory. Nobody cares but you. And then when you're sitting home by yourself with your manuscript going, no one wants to read my book, look at yourself in the mirror and go, do I come off like a pompous asshole? Because chances are you do. Okay? So think about that before you like start pushing your next big buck. You know? And then like, and Brian talked about this in his thing, like every time I send my stuff in, they just send it right back, or they like say they don't want anything from me, blah 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 blah. If you are sending your stuff to publishers or agents, you need to be asked to send that stuff in. Like you don't just send like unsolicited shit to people. Like it's just that's not how it works. So if you don't know how the system works and then want to play the race card, like good God, like you need a little bit of self-awareness, okay? Before you start doing that shit. I have known so many people in the MFA programs or the MFA world who thought that just because they got an MFA that that meant that they now get to be a published author because they put the work in. They went to school. They had someone pay for them to go to school and they had someone pay for their MFA. So by God, they deserve all the fame and prestige that one gets when having something like this. Okay. And then when it doesn't happen, it's because they're white. And they're like, no, it's true. Like I talked to another white guy with an MFA and he couldn't get his stuff published either. It's this damn woke mind virus. Okay? Or it's that you're not very good. Okay? Your story is shit. It takes you way too long to fucking write anything. And then you spend 2 years trying to get it picked up. And then write to market. Find out what's going on right now. Write that thing. And then put it out. And then once you're a big famous person who just makes cookie cutter shit, then you can try writing that one opus that nobody wanted to have in the first place. And then when that comes out and it bombs, then you can go back to saying like, oh, woke, whatever. Like nobody, oh my God, this is so annoying. I don't even like hearing myself talk right now. So this Devin guy, and again, if you watch Brian's video, you'll know who I'm talking about. And I know I kind of alluded to it a little bit before, but if the only way you are selling your books is by scaring white men into thinking that if they don't buy your crap book, that like they're gonna lose their culture, like you have to understand that you are not an author anymore. You are selling fear. And if you enjoy that, cool, but quit calling yourself an author. You're like a snake oil salesman at this point. Just be honest with what it is you are. And if you're saying that's not true, don't go on fucking YouTube shows or podcasts talking about how hard it is for you to be white. Nobody fucking cares. Oh, except other scared white people who are afraid that like they're not going to be able to get their shitty book put out. Okay. Now I'm saying all this stuff and being all fucking mean about it because at the end of the day, like Brian said in his video, if you're going to self publish and get your stuff out there and make money doing it, cool. You proved everybody wrong. And, like now you can trick white people into reading because you, a white man, put out a white book about a white experience that's fantasy or sci fi. Like, this sounds so fucking stupid. So it's just like, if you think you could single handedly fix white guys not reading, knock yourself out. There's plenty of other white writers whose books still are sold in bookstores, whose books are still put out by publishers that I think are probably better than you. So, but if you can do it, if you can fight the good fight and make sure a white man knows what it's like to be a white man and knows that now they've been discriminated against. And what did you say? You fucking said something. How good things were. That's some fucking MAGA Trump shit right there, dude. Make publishing great again. Make publishing white again. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You're pathetic. You're fucking sad. But here's the thing. If your shit is good and you know how to, like, it's social media time, okay? And you know how to build an audience about your book and build an audience about what your book's about. Don't build an audience about, hey, white guys, aren't you scared that there's people different than you getting things that your grandparents used to get for nothing? It's so fucking stupid. It's gross. It's fucking gross. This isn't me being, you have to do this and you have to do that and things aren't right and blah, 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 blah. It's just me saying, if you're good, then be good and prove everyone that you're good. But if you have to play this like loss of privilege card to sell your book, know that you're not a very good writer, because if you were a good writer, your shit would be selling anyway and you wouldn't have to be doing any of this stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to be going on shows talking about the loss of your privilege if your books were good enough to sell on their own. Facts, dude. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, you're silly and it's sad. Yeah. So this Devin Trump is putting out his own stuff now. That's super great. I'm proud of him. And, hopefully he could sell books without having to resort to making white guys scared that they're like, that sometime soon people aren't going to understand white culture anymore. It's so fucking stupid. It's so sad. It's just stupid. So here's the thing. If you can sell books, sell books. Just do that. Like, hustle your shit, sell your stuff. Like, this shouldn't have to be a race thing. This shouldn't have to be, oh, woe is me. Okay? You either are good at what you do or you're not. But trying to, like, masquerade your crappy fucking books into, like, you trying to save white culture is just the most fucking ridiculous thing in the world. So let's not do that. And if you follow that woman who did the, like, I know how to make white guys mad and give me money and watch to the end of a video. If you watch her stuff and she's actually pretty good or whatever, let me know. Like, I would love to know that I'm wrong about her. But, like, I don't know, man. You only have one time to make a first impression, and she fucking blew it. So, let me know if she has anything good to say about anything. I doubt it. Like, actually don't. Because, like, I kind of think she's a piece of trash. So, let's just go with that. And I'll tag her in the video so she could get all upset about it. Why not? It's Saturday. Might as well live a little. Breaking in here with an edit. The thing that cracks me up about this shit, like these types of people, and I'm generalizing, okay? So I'm the villain here already. But these types of people who claim to love the free market and hate when the government interferes in anything or anyone interferes, and that the free market is the way to go. Love the free market and love the free market until they feel like they're being discriminated against. And then suddenly it's like, what the fuck? Like, publishers have the right to put out whatever the fuck they want. And publishers, unless like there's some giant conspiracy where everything is operating at a loss for some sort of tax shelter, whatever. If that's really how it is, I would get into a new business. There's way more profitable things out there. But let's just say, okay, let's just say, if these companies are putting out books that they think sell, they should have the right to do that, no matter who is writing these books or who is reading these books. And then this whole idea, just again, that white people don't read is just the fucking stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. Like, I don't know. Let's make a little like a thing here. Let's everybody go to a bookstore this weekend. And since we're all into demographics, let's go in there and see what kind of people are in there, like buying books. And then if you want to be really fucking cool about this and really like scientific, go up to each person and say you're taking a survey and ask them their economic class. Ask them all of the things. Ask them about their education level. Ask these questions and see what you get. Like, most people in a bookstore, I'm going to assume, are women, just because whenever I go to a bookstore, I'm like one of the only guys there, and it's just a bunch of women looking at books. And then the guys that are there to pick up on girls because bookstores are a great place to pick up on women if you're into that. So, and again, some of these guys could probably use some female companionship of any kind, and maybe they would feel a little bit better that their books aren't selling. Oh my god, this is getting horrible. I'm gonna split. But anyway, so I have some books out. I don't have anything with me right now because everything, I'm in the process of moving. So things are in storage and things aren't. So um, if you would like to get some of my books on Amazon, you could get the ebooks and stuff like that. But if you want to go to mattwallart.com and get the chapbooks that are available up there, or some of my paintings or something, you can go and do that. Hit the join button down below, and join the crew and be a part of all the fun shit we do, which I do more of once I'm not in the process of moving. Okay, everybody? So type hard. Don't hardly type and then go on podcasts and talk about how sad it is that you're white and no one wants to listen to you anymore. Because that's stupid and crap. Okay? So just type hard, sell your shit, hustle that ass out on the streets, and do the thing, okay? So I will talk to you all later.